What's up, guys? I'm Jason, aka Captain Nasty. Welcome back to Anchored in Muscle for another Supplement Sunday video. Now, guys, it's getting late, but I got to get this in. I made a promise. It was a request. We have to get this in. So, we've already started off with the most important thing, your multivitamins and fish oil. I jumped around a little bit, went to GDA on our second Supplement Sunday video because of some questions we got. Then last week, we went back and covered the number 2 things on the list of importance, your hierarchy of needs, post-workout supplementation. So this week, we're getting back in line with the number 3 things on the list of the hierarchy of needs. Your number 3 in importance, a sustained assimilating meal replacement type protein supplement. So you guys know that I have to go into detail. I think we would be, failing you if we didn't go over a little bit about what protein is and, why you need it and what's it all about before we get into talking about supplementation, guys. You know me, I like to be detailed. I'll try not to make it that long. I know. I'm already getting it long just making this introduction. So, guys, let's talk about building blocks, okay? Amino acids. Maybe you've heard about this. Some of you guys out there, maybe even some of you ladies have been doing your research. You're reading up on, fitness and building muscle and weight loss and things like that. Maybe you've heard about amino acids. So amino acids are the building blocks of protein. And you guys know we talk about muscle all the time. Protein is the building blocks of muscle. So I just wanted to show this little graphic right here. To me, it's a little bit funny, but hey, it explains things. Amino acids are the building blocks of protein, and protein is the building blocks of muscle. So let's get on in here, guys. How does your body use amino acids? So it groups these amino acids together into chains of peptides, and then it goes on to form protein. Protein, again here, building blocks of protein are amino acids. Amino acids are the building blocks of all protein. It's kind of like the alphabet of the protein language. There are 20 amino acids that exist that can be combined in different ways to create all the proteins needed for life. Because we're not going to get down that road. That's a little bit complicated, but every cell requires protein. It's not just muscle cells. Literally every cell is comprised of amino acids and protein. That's the building blocks of life itself. So, okay, guys, protein, building blocks of muscle, hair, skin, nails, includes, yet again, 20 amino acids. Here's where we get into the meat of it. The essential amino acids. There are 9 essential amino acids that the body cannot make. It cannot make it on its own. It cannot synthesize it. You need these from outside. In other words, what foods that you're taking in. So you have to get those in what you eat. Complete proteins require all 20 amino acids. Now, where you're going to get into this is, I know some people, are vegetarians, vegans, and things like that. And only, and you may read or you may see, we may talk about the protein in veggies. So where this comes in, I'll try not to go down this track because it'll make it even longer, is you may have to eat, say, 2 different or maybe even 3 different veggies to get all of these amino acids to make a complete protein source. I backed up there. All right, go down here. What does protein do for you? It is a component of every cell. Like we said, it builds and repairs tissue. We always want to focus on muscle, but it does a lot more than that. It is used to make enzymes, hormones, and other body chemicals. It is the building block of bones, muscle, cartilage, skin, and blood. Now, guys, earlier today, I shared the blog that I wrote, Protein is King, and I hope maybe you guys went to our website, checked that out. All of this is covered in there. So again, guys, what we're focused on in this setting is muscle building and fat loss. So, I had to throw this little graphic in here. Now let's go back to this one. Because this one, I could, like I told you the other day in that video, I can make a lot of different conversations that relate to this graphic. Okay, again, we're talking about protein. Why is protein so important? Remember, in this video we did the other day, anabolic state versus catabolic state. Your anabolic state being a state of muscle building and fat burning versus catabolic, which is a state of muscle wasting or muscle burning and fat storing. So, guys, I'm trying to hit home on just why protein is so critical. And remember, we talked about this every time you have a protein meal. And I'm just realizing, guys, I didn't do the whole big cursor thing, but you can follow me here from left to right if you can see it. I doubt you can. But just every time you have this protein meal, you flip that anabolic switch. You get a boost in metabolism. You get back into that anabolic state, in a state where you are, again, building muscle, burning fat. And we need to do this, again, optimally every 3 to 4 hours throughout the day, and even right up to before bed, as many times as you can. You want to stay in an anabolic state as much as possible on a 24-hour day period. Now, of course, you're going to slip into a catabolic state overnight while you sleep, but keep in mind, you need these critical amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein. Protein is the building blocks of muscle. You need these critical amino acids while you sleep, when your body is repairing, making muscle repair. Most of muscle repair, which equals building, takes place while you are at rest. In other words, while you sleep. So why are we talking about supplementation? Now, I went there because I'm going to blow you guys' mind. Now, there's a lot of you guys out there, we all think we know everything, but I think I'm going to blow your mind on this one, because now we're going to get into talking about a protein supplement. Before I leave this one, though, when would you need a meal replacement protein? Now, guys, back to this graphic. Any time where you don't have time, or you literally logistically, like me right now, I'm on day shift. I'm getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to go in the kitchen, beat and bang, cook a half a dozen eggs and all this stuff. My goal at 2 a.m. is to get in my protein and carbs and get out the door. So I'm just going to tell you right now, it's pretty much guaranteed that my first meal of the day, 99% of the time, is going to be a meal replacement protein shake, and maybe, a pack of quick oats, maybe even just some raw oats dumped in there. I've done that before lots of times. Just add it, blend it up, or maybe a meal replacement protein shake and a granola bar. I like Nature's Best. It's pretty good. And out the door. Or say, you guys know that I carry my 6-pack bag with my meals. If I get busy, if we're working on the boat, we're shifting barges, I don't have time to stop and microwave it, heat it up, and, sit down and eat. I have an extra shake with me in my bag, where if, again, I can't stop and eat, then I have a meal replacement protein shake. Now here, I'm going to get on into this. Where am I going to blow your mind? Because, ladies, trust me, all these guys, most of them, they think they know it all, but they know what they don't know. But where does protein come from? It certainly does not come in this state. You guys are used to seeing protein powder, but think about this whey protein. Think about that old, was it nursery rhyme, curds and whey. Whey is a byproduct. Originally, it's a byproduct of cheese production, cheese manufacturing. So in its natural state, it's really a snot or a slime gelatin consistency. And this is where we're going to start talking about quality. And how do they get it from this? It's gelatinous state into a powder. Now, this gelatinous state is a raw good. This is where your quality comes from, and then the manufacturing. Because this is the part where I get to talk about First Phorm, because you guys know that I'm 100% committed. I've been using nothing but First Phorm for over 2 years now. Hands down, the best quality on the planet. And I really want to get into this because I know that a lot of the ladies, if you're not familiar, if you're not used to taking a protein supplement, or maybe you've tried one, one big thing for the ladies is the gas, the potential for gas. You're not going to have that with a First Phorm protein, and this is where I'm going to explain it. Now, typically there are 3 methods of manufacturing process to go from this to this. Now, those 3 main ways or exposing it to hydrochloric acid, or high heat, or low heat. So let's talk about that acid. That's pretty obvious. What happens is you kind of denature, you kind of alter the molecular structure. Let's say, for lack of a better term, you scorch it. Same way with a high heat. We think about like 700 degrees a flash heat, it's the same thing. You get it just too hot and it alters the molecular structure to where your body doesn't quite recognize it. Now remember, if you get gas, if you get the shits, I know it's gross, but hey, it happens. What is it? That's your body's signal that it's foul, it's no good, and it's trying to get rid of it. So let's use this analogy. When you expose it to that acid, or say 700 degrees, because hey, you know, they're trying to make as much of it as they can for as cheap as they can in most cases. Think about a chicken breast. Now, if you put a chicken breast in your grill at 700 degrees and it comes out charred, versus if you put it like I cook my chicken, most of the time in a slow cooker, in a crock pot. You cook it on a low temperature overnight, comes out nice and juicy and plump, versus this. Oh my God, if you had that acid or the high heat. I mean, this is really the best analogy for what we're talking about. The difference between your chemical treating it, your high heat, and your low temperature processing. So where I'm coming around to this, guys, is Phorm is a low temperature processed, sustained assimilating meal replacement protein shake. Now, what do I mean by sustained assimilating? Now, remember this chicken breast we talked about back up here on this graphic. It takes about 3 to 4 hours from the time you eat to the time your body slips back into that catabolic state. In other words, you fully digested that protein and all the nutrients have been carried off to where it needs to go. Now, in this case, we're talking about a supplement. Now, obviously, it's a powder. It's going to digest faster than a whole food chicken breast. But now, what can you do? Now, here are different comparative digestion rates of protein. Now, your fastest is going to be your hydrolyzed whey isolate protein. That's what we were talking about last week. In your post-workout shake, you want the fastest possible digestion of protein post-workout to get immediate muscle repair. Okay, you got a whey protein isolate, whey protein concentrate, egg protein, milk protein isolate. You can see them right on down the list. Now, what is going to be the best choice in a meal replacement protein shake? That's going to be a blend, what they call a blended protein. In other words, you're going to have certain percentages of all of these different proteins, or a combination. And the intent there is to try to have a percentage of each one of these so that they digest at different rates, trying to mimic or comparatively make it digest somewhat similar to the rate of whole food. Now, again, guys, you know me, I'm 100% Phorm, hands down. And what you will find in level 1 is whey isolate, whey protein concentrate, egg, and even micellar casein. So it really is a great meal replacement protein shake. It's also a little bit thicker. It will keep you fuller longer. You'll be satiated a little bit longer. And again, the highest quality on the planet. Go back to this manufacturing process. All Phorm proteins are a low temperature processing. I think I want to say it's like at 240 degrees. I have to be exact on that because, you know, I got so much information, but I want to say it's right around 240 degrees compared to that hydrochloric acid or your 700 degrees high temperature processing that most protein powders are processed at. So here it is, guys. Level 1 is my meal replacement shake of choice. Again, 99% of the time I'm having a level 1 shake for breakfast. And then, you know, typically I usually have time to heat my food up and eat it. But where I may end up having a second meal replacement protein shake is, say I got real busy at the end of my day. It was about time for me to get off, make watch change, and I'm getting off the boat, and I didn't get a chance then. And I have, like today, actually that happened today. I turned around, got busy, kind of forgot to heat up my meal. And by the time I realized it, I was like, oh shit, I got to get in my protein. And I had that meal replacement, that second shake, the powder in my smart shaker ready to go. So all I needed to do is get me a cold bottle of water, pour in the powder, shake it up, and I was done. I was ready to go. I'm covered. So, okay, guys, I hope I've kept this kind of short. No doubt I'm going to think of something else that I should have said in here, but I hope you guys will give this a try. Again, I 100% believe, I am committed. Phorm, hands down, is the best, by far the best on the planet. You know, all these things, not to mention, manufactured in an FDA inspected facility. That doesn't mean they're FDA approved. No supplement is FDA approved. But what that means is they pay to be inspected, their facilities and their manufacturing processes to be inspected, and they voluntarily uphold to the same standards to what they would need to if they were FDA approved. So, just going on into that, not to mention that, guys, as always, 110% money back guarantee. So, okay, guys, again, this is supposed to spark a question. If you have any questions, never hesitate to reach out to me. Like Brandy says, send me a smoke signal, text message me, call me on the phone, get with me in the DMs, email me at anchoredinmuscle@gmail.com. Guys, I got to get in here and get my cardio. Later.